Hey guys, it's OKB, and this is, well, we gotta figure out, is Kushina still worth using? And the answer is yes, but it also depends on where you are in the game. So if you're in like the late game, you probably already have Kushina because she's been getting out for free like two times. I think this is the third time, maybe. Probably the third time. And her fragments have been given out for free in Great Plates, which has free keys, and then I think Lucky Snatch, Bonus Creature, like almost every single event, big major event that I can think of has given out her fragments at some point. With free draws, of course. But then there was a couple events, I think Fireworks she got Kushina, I don't quite remember, but I know that she's been given out so much, and now she's being given out again in daily sign-in. And well, the sign-in is a sign-in pack, you can choose her. Now, I made a video on Edo Nagato, which is in the pack, a sign-in pack, and people were asking, which one is the best. Nagato is technically the best, but for your situation, sometimes Kushina is better if you don't have her. But then Yuzuno might be good because he has an automatic, with his breakthroughs, he has an automatic increase in damage. So that might be helpful when you're at a lower power and you just lose to anybody anyways. You're not being too competitive. But Edo Dan has breakthroughs in the future, which are actually pretty useful, and I don't know how useful he is compared to Edo Nagato. We'll see when the English version comes out, but from what I'm seeing, he's on par, maybe a little bit under Edo Nagato in terms of usefulness if the abilities are the same, if the breakthrough abilities are the same from China, but we never know. Habanero Kushina is going to be second on the list because we're unsure about Edo Dan. And she can be used as a position 1 and sometimes a support. Though I will say that she gets killed too easily to be a great support in a 1 versus 1 battle, most likely. But there are modes. Infinite Illusions, I guess, is a good part. 5 Natures as well. There's some unique ways you can use her in these. It's basically like she just tanks a lot of damage, and she heals, and she's immune to status. And she also has some offensive abilities which suppress immunity to status, which sometimes you need. And she's just a good, sort of upper tanker, but she also doesn't tank as hard as Kazakage Gara, so she's like an all-rounder defensive support, as a support. And I'll show you guys. Wind is probably 5 Natures Wind is probably not the best one to show you guys at, but I can still do it. I'll throw as a position 1 to kind of demonstrate, hey, getting hit and increasing her ninjutsu and critical rate, which is her special abilities, is pretty useful. It's helpful. It's not the best, but it's an all-rounder thing you can use in Infinite Illusions as well. Not the standard attack, but Mystery does pretty well because these 5 main characters hit a lot, and you just position her in the front where she's being hit by all these standard attacks. She gets stronger that way. The Chase is probably not that good, so we're just going to stick with Trial of Heart. Yeah, we're just going to do that. And yeah, I still have some leftovers. That's nice. And then 5 Natures, the best one would probably be against Earth, because Earth hits a lot of times, but we don't have Earth on this cycle. It's just Fire, Wind, and Lightning. So we're just going to throw in a Yagura and put Kushina in the front, have her be the target of every mystery and standard attack possible, and then we're going to scale her critical rate and ninjutsu a lot. All right, so that's what I consider the main use of Kushina these days. But if you're an alternate account, or if you're in a new server and you're getting this for free and you're like, oh, hey, maybe I should get this. Sure, go ahead and do that. And I'll show you some position 1 teams in Arena, so we'll go over that. Okay, let me go over abilities now. And most of you guys should know her abilities, but I guess if you're new, this will be a nice recap. So 3-star and 4-star, obviously 4-star is better. You should go for 4-star if you're only going to get 3 stars, but in the meantime, 3 stars, you still have some teams that work well with her. So let's go with the abilities first, right? Cause damage, paralysis to 3 people, suppress all immune to debuffs until the end of the round. And so, yeah, that hits 3 people. Paralysis is kind of nice, so the Chase doesn't do extra damage or extra standard or extra effects, basically. If the opponent recovers immunity, it will cancel all of its debuffs, but his immunity to debuffs will still be suppressed. You cause repulse. Now you have a 6-round cooldown, which is insane, but don't worry, we'll get there. She has a battlefield cooldown of 3, which means when you start out, you gotta wait 3 rounds to use her mystery. Sounds terrible, right? But if you go down to the passive, the first passive, whenever this ninja receives an attack, the mystery skill cooldown is reduced by 1, and the critical rate is increased by 3%. So, that's kind of what her specialty is, right? She has a 6-round cooldown, but each time you hit her, her cooldown goes down by 1. And so teams that don't hit a lot, they just go for 1 big splash damage, is good against a 3-star Kushina. Right, but usually she's going to be hit, and you're usually going to be able to use her mystery every single round at some point. The standard attack is just healing, which is nice, and causing paralysis to one guy with the least amount of life and a high float. So a lot of paralysis here. And it's pretty decent, you're healing, which is nice. And then you have a low knockdown, which causes a small amount of damage to herself, which is actually, it could kill you in arena, but when you hit yourself, the first passive that you guys see, when this ninja receives an attack, the mystery cooldown is reduced by 1, right? So hitting herself with a chase actually reduces her mystery cooldown by 1 and increases her critical rate by 3%. So that's actually sort of a good thing. Double-edged sword, but the sword pointing to you is small. It's like a dagger. Okay, so low knockdown causes a small amount of damage based on maximum health. And yeah, just immobilize. So it's like an interruption, immobilize thing. And you have the bottom passive. So we just went over the first passive, which is just, whenever you get hit, you increase your critical rate and your mystery skill goes down. Now she also heals before the first action of each round, 12% of life, which is pretty good. And it's based on your ninjutsu as well. So you want to, in mood scrolls, you want to stack ninjutsu. Can be triggered twice per round. So if you use your mystery once, you'll heal 12%. If you use your standard attack, you'll heal another 12%. That's basically what it is. This unit's basically immune to all debuffs, which is pretty good into position 1. But she doesn't have super armor, so there some chases that might kill her, well, still might kill her. Okay, now those are the abilities here. If you go to the +2 and the Y+2, it's actually quite similar. You just increase the damage for the +2. Paralysis, you hit 4 people, and that's it. That's the difference. So you hit 4 people, you suppress the immunity to debuffs, you put paralysis, and you do 30% more damage. Same thing with repulse, same cooldown, same chakra usage. If you do the Y+1, which is actually more used if you use her as a position 1, then you do damage, paralysis, suppress immunity to debuffs, up to 3 units. And I guess the benefit here is that even though you're only hitting 3, as compared to hitting 4 with the +2, your cooldown time is actually 4 rounds, and so you're more guaranteed to be able to use your mystery right away every single round, because people will probably hit you 3 times, right, in the single round. Okay, the standard attack just increases damage, so there's not much else to say. The chases, you get a low knockdown and immobilize 2 times, which also reduces your mystery cooldown, also increases your critical rate thanks to the bottom passive here. But then the bottom passive, it actually gets way better. So you're not only just increasing critical rate, you're increasing ninjutsu. So that's offensive damage. However, 6-pass Naruto still beats that out with 15% ninjutsu every single standard attack, which is twice Kushina, which is not great. But the critical rate is pretty important. So that could make a pretty big difference. But in practice, Kushina is not as strong as 6-pass Naruto, right, in general. But you also have this Y skill, which is great for if you have her as a support, as a sort of a tank. Basically, if you have her as a tank in any sort of modes or some sort of strategy, Kazekagara is better, but she does skill defensive resistance, and she does heal, so she will have some tankiness here. But the reason you would use her is either for the chase here, or you want to suppress immunity to debuffs, right? So you want some offense on top of defense. That's why you would use a support Kushina. And then you have the bottom passive, which just, you increase the amount of life you heal by 20% of life, based on ninjutsu attribute again. You can do it twice per round. So basically it goes from 12% to 20%, which is a pretty big deal. And then the other one, which nobody uses, is that this unit gains 20 chakra. Actually, you do use this in special modes, 5 natures particularly, that maybe some sort of Edo-Roshi combo. But yeah, this is when you don't really need her to heal too much, but you need chakra. That's when you would use her. But very few people know or remember to use her in this way. Okay, and remember you can do this 2 times too, so it's technically 40 chakra, which is pretty good. And this is 40 chakra after she makes a move, which means if you need to delay your chakra gain because someone might drain your chakra, this could help you. All right. Okay, so these are all her abilities. Now, how would you use her? Honestly, I'm going to make a couple teams, but honestly, if you do position 1, Niu Hashirama is free because of the if you download the client, she's free on any computer really, and you could do something like Niu Hashirama because Niu Hashirama is first of all he's immune to status. Second of all, he heals a little bit when he's hit, so that's some tankiness. And then next is that he has a perfect combo with Kushina, and he has a special ability that gains an extra chase. So technically he has 2 chases of knockdown low, and Kushina does low knockdown, which is perfect. And he also causes knockdown, which he can chase himself, which causes low for Kushina. So it's basically a perfect chase here. If Kushina loses her immunity to status, Niu Hashirama can technically has a chance to help take it back because his but every single round, he'll heal everyone and remove all debuffs, but it's random, so it could help, right? But yeah, this is a fairly basic team, and you can run anything else with this team. So I would probably run something like, in a 6-pass Naruto meta, you probably run something like Edo Itachi, with or without breakthroughs, right? And the reason you want to do that is because it's an anti-6-pass Naruto thing. And you'll have double control, which is okay. Earthmain here should be on defensive knowledge here. I mean, shields work, but defensive knowledge in the long run is probably better. So you have at least some defense against any... Because right now the position 1s are really powerful. So they scale a lot, they deal a lot of damage. They might just blitz you out in round 1. Especially Susanoo Shisui, but like if you're fighting a Susanoo Shisui, you're just going to die anyways, so it doesn't matter. But if you're fighting anything else like 6-pass Naruto and Edo Madara, which is more common... if you would at least have a chance like this, right? You have Niu Hashirama, which suppresses immunity to debuffs. So if you stack your control runes on Niu Hashirama, you'll have a chance to suppress. You'll have a chance to suppress Edo Madara's debuffs. Edo Itachi can technically also put Edo Madara to sleep. This works. There's a special trick to this, which is after everyone uses their standard attack, you can use Edo Itachi on someone who had their immunity to debuff suppressed, which Kushina can do. So Kushina will use the mystery on Edo Madara, and then after everyone uses their mysteries, after everyone uses their standard attacks, you can try to use Edo Itachi on someone else's Edo Madara, and that Edo Madara will be put to sleep, and that would be for 2 rounds because sleep activates for 2 rounds. So that's a possible tactic you can try. Okay, it's not that easy to do. But yeah, you can probably run something like this. You can have a double try with Niu Hashirama, try to express immunity debuffs. It's up to you. But this is like a team I would run if you don't have a lot of coupons, if you're not really into it. Hopefully you have 3-star Edo Itachi. I think he was given out he was in a Fuku deal. He was in a Fireworks or something like that. But you guys can still get him. He has breakthroughs now, so he is kind of still worth it in the long run from beginner to expert. But on an expert level, he's not used that much, really. He's not really good against Susanoo Shisui, but he is good against 6-pass Naruto. All right, so this is like a first team I would show you guys. In the arena teams, I'm going to show you guys. You can probably run some other supports that is good for now and later. So Akatsuki Kakuzu is a perfect example of a ninja that you might get that is good. I mean, just good for probably the entire game for a long time. And he increases ninjutsu and resistance. So resistance is just defense for Kushina, and any other attack really. But ninjutsu also increases. So remember that her life, she heals based on ninjutsu, right? So if Akatsuki Kakuzu revives and increases ninjutsu, then she heals a little bit more. That's one way of thinking about it. Another way, I guess. That's basically it, just resistance against 6-pass Naruto and any other attacks. Edo Madara technically also uses ninjutsu, just about half, so it's helpful there. You can run something like, Ino is there if you're really going free-to-play. I'm giving a lot of free-to-play teams because that's the only reason you would use her as position 1. You're a free-to-play and you don't have a lot of anything really. So yeah, Summer Eno has been given out. Rin is a good one here, just some level of defense. Probably Earth main a lot here, and this is just if you do 1 versus 1 team, it's difficult. All right, now if you use it outside, I mean, okay, there are some things that you could take a gamble here. So Edo Roshi technically has a perfect combo with Kushina too. He has Repulse low, which Kushina's mystery is Repulse, and then you cause low, and then Kushina chases, causes low knockdown, reduce her mystery cooldown by 1, increase her ninjutsu and critical rate if you're 4 stars, and then you'll probably run something like another Jinchuriki. This is if you don't run into Edo Madara, first of all, which removes all buffs and barriers. You can run something like this, very simple. And you can let the rest of these guys die, but if you let Krillibri give her extra standard attack, it might be helpful. You can also run even like this would work, and you can run. It's probably still Earth main. I was gonna say Lightning main for root, and you can reduce defense with a 3-star or a 4-star on here, but even Minato would work, though Minato does cost a whole bunch, and Kushina is better than Minato at position 1, but still, like, you can run a barrier on Minato if you want, but if you don't, that works too. The reason is that Edo Roshi actually gives you some life, and some defense, I guess, with this barrier, if you have the barrier. Some chakras, and you can use all of your mysteries in one go. That could work. I mean, this is just, position 1 Kushina, is it's still decent compared to other ninjas. If you don't have it, it just doesn't compare to most other ninjas these days. All right, though you could, if you're faster than Edo Madara, you could technically just control Edo Madara every single round, and just, yeah, if you're faster than Edo Madara, I guess this is effective against Edo Madara. So she still has some use here, right? Because she does suppress immunity debuffs, which means you can immobilize with her chase. Yeah, that works. If you're faster than Tendo's Obito, then I guess you could defeat Tendo's Obito. Though whales don't use her. Whales, I guess if whales don't want to spend any more, they'll still use Tendo's Obito, but still. Suzuno Shisui is still the jam right now. Okay, yeah, other suggestions would be Iruka. Any other buffer, like go Konoha only or something. If you guys have Chiriku, I don't know if you... Chiriku is still fairly well. I used to use something like this with Chiriku. A lot of defense, let her skill a lot. But nowadays, 6 Fast Naruto scales more, so she kind of loses out. You can also run something like Ibiki and put, like, you can suppress. This is like a sort of a gamble, but you can put all your control runes on Ibiki, so you can drain all chakra, and then you'll have a low knockdown. Technically, Ibiki also gives some damage because, first of all, Kushina immobilizes, right? And so when she immobilizes with her chase, Ibiki will increase the amount of damage dealt to immobilize and torture by 40%, and the Kushina will deal more damage along with her scaling. A lot of ideas here. Now, outside of 1 versus 1, I'll probably run something like Swimsuit Anko, which is what I'm going to show you guys. I probably won't show you a lot of teams. I'll probably just show you 5 natures, because that's probably the best way to use her. But yeah, Swimsuit Anko here is helpful because she gives an extra chase, which, because Kushina benefits from chasing, because she gets more scaling, and her mystery cooldown goes down by 1 each time. And it's perfect for a +2 because she has a 6-round cooldown, which sometimes your opponent doesn't hit you 5 times. You only need to be hit 5 times to do this every round. But being hit 5 times sometimes doesn't work out because they might have healers or like an Earth main here. So instead of running +2, you can run a Y, and Swimsuit Anko will help you with that because she increases the number of chases that Kushina has. And each time Kushina chases, she will have her mystery cooldown go down by 1. So that's kind of nice. We're also going to throw in, if we do a team like this, well, I already made a team, so I guess I'll just show you guys in 5 natures. But if you guys want to do something like this, have some defense levels, all right? Have like something like Rin here. Or maybe like water main here just to increase a whole bunch of healing. Just make this a double healer team so that everyone survives a bit longer. Water main works pretty well with her because she does suppress immunity debuffs and she does cause taijutsu damage. You could actually run water main with poison damage, which is unusual. And then we also have irremovable strong poison, I think. Yeah, Onko has this irremovable poison thing, so you can run a pretty decent poison team here. If you have Swimsuit Onko, but of course a lot of people don't, so we're gonna have to make do with what we have. But I'm gonna show you guys this with Swimsuit Onko. You know, it's not the best team, but it's a fair team for Infinite Illusions as well. So I'll try to give both footage of both. You know, I thought about putting Swimsuit Sai, but it just wasn't enough. Some of those older suit ninjas could also work here. Suit Sasuke has some increase in damage, some shields. Yeah, a suit Sai or Suit Iruka, no. Suit Sai. Oh, I don't have it on this account, but Suit Sai. Oh, I do. All right, Suit Sai gives extra resistance, though Suit Sai will die, and then knockdown repulse. Yeah, I mean, there's not. Oh, cause Sugara was fun. But if getting a lot of shields is fun. So you could go like Suit, Gara, Earth Main, and then some other person who gives. I mean, off the top of my head, Green Ninja Madara, but there's probably some other better shield givers. You can think of them because we already have a Gara. Gara's the shield guy, so I don't know what other else. Iruka would be good here. Iruka can give a whole bunch of shields too. Okay, you know, I'm running off tangents. I'm just gonna show you guys 5 Natures training. Not the best team, but a fair team that you guys can use, and also Infinite Illusions here, Trial of Heart. I'm gonna speed this up as well. Yeah, okay. All right, guys, let's get to the fights.
Got a big start, got a good heart. First gotta say that, gotta think smart. Tryna make moves, breaking my wrist. Getting those kills, getting assists. Looking at me, getting those deals. Yeah, I said no, offer 10 bills for one song. Holy shit, but we good, gonna blow up quick. Gonna waste no time, get that urban feature. Now your shit won't buy, yeah, they wanna see us. We got no cosign, living by the beaches. I'm gonna take that fine, selling out of me. You lack persuasion, we're not around. Like we made it, they all surround. Life's so amazing above the crowd. You feel it now, feel like we. Now I got a girl, can't rub it with a normal shit, but she don't care, she dope, she thick. 4 a.m, got home, take her out to the back, throw it back for your boy, yeah, he bounce like a toy. What do I want, Versace? What do I got, hop on me, yeah, gotta get it right home in the X. Now she coming first, cause she know that I'm next. Gonna waste no time, get that urban feature. Now your shit won't buy, yeah, they wanna see us. We got no cosign, living by the beaches. I'm gonna take that fine, selling out of me. Yeah, you lack persuasion, we're not around. Feel like we made it, they all surround. Life's so amazing above the crowd. You feel it now, feel like we
get it right the first time, then you know you got it. Anytime you want it, babe, all you gotta do is make it right.